on your role with the team and your affinity for the disability channel.
Awesome. Well, we're always so happy to be here, and I am pleased to introduce the guests that we have today. So we have a couple of our friends from the Shakedown joining us. So I would like to bring in Chris Straheim, and also another good friend of ours that is our secret ninja. So if you guys want to come on in, and actually, Chris, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit first, and then we'll bring in our second guest. Go ahead, Chris, over to you.
Thank you, Sue. I am Chris Straheim, and I have MS. And as far as secret things that I do, not too much secret, but I do. I go to an adaptive fitness program each week for a semester at a time. I'm not always selected to join, but I sure am honored when they do select me, because it's nice to be able to work with the college students, and they help out with helping me work out to my best of my ability, and they get a good workout then too, because if I'm lifting weights, they're lifting weights too. So as far as other things that I do, I'm a real TV watcher. I really should be up and doing more rather than just sitting watching TV, but that's what I do. I do try to make sure I get up once in a while to get my legs moving, but I really enjoy the exercise classes that are available to me via Zoom on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. We have different exercise programs that run about an hour each, and so those are really nice to be part of. So I guess, Sue, that's what I have to talk about with myself right now. I could also let you know that I'm married very happily. I live on a farm in the way away from the great housefullness of Madison, which we lived at for so long, and it's nice to be out where it's quiet and there's not much traffic. So it's great.
And that we have the power of Zoom now to be able to that you're able to participate in the exercise programs and all the things, even though you're not right in a big city now. That is a pretty nice thing. That's to make it accessible on a whole nother level.
Yeah, because we've got participants that are in Florida, and one fellow that's in Louisiana, and so I think that's cool to hear what they're doing in their parts of the world. Actually, the Florida fellows, they want to move to Madison. I'd like to see them be here.
See how they do in the snow?
Yeah, we keep telling them about the snow, and they maybe no, they still want to be here just because they of the medical the medical services that they would be able to get so much better in Madison than they get in Florida. So I think that would be really good for them.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to bring in our second guest to join the conversation too here. So, Joni, if you want to join us and tell us a little bit about some of the fun things that you get to participate in as well.
Well, I do a lot of classes on Zoom since COVID started. They're everywhere. You can find about anything you want to do, and they're free. And it's just been wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, and I know how we all ended up actually getting to meet is through something we do every day at noon called the 12 o'clock shakedown. Wondering if you guys want to share a little bit about what your experience has been, how you found out about the shakedown, and just a little bit more, because actually most people watching this right now are probably saying, what the heck's the shakedown? So actually, Joni, do you want to let us know, how did you find out about it, and just share a little bit, and then I'll pass it back over to Chris.
I think I found it through Autumn. I think from Autumn's Adaptive Adventures, I think I found my way to you guys.
Well, and I have to say that I feel like I was part of the initial instigation of it.
I bet you were, actually.
That me and Jim Turk were really the originators of it, coming up with the name of it, and because I feel like I named it because it's at noon, and why not be the 12 o'clock shakedown?
I never knew that. So, well, actually, if you want to share a little bit about Jim as well, and so tell us a little more of how that all started.
So it's just playing music, and but playing music that we were having troubles with having not Zoom, but Facebook was bouncing us out because we were using music right from the radio, or and so Jim tried to adjust the playing of the songs so they weren't right on exact timing with the actual songs were. So he put a lot of extra work into trying to get things to work that way, so that we could record things and keep it for people who aren't able to watch right at noon but can watch it later on Facebook. So we do a lot of we call it the shakedown, and it started mostly like with a pill bottle with beans or something in it to make it shake. I didn't like the sound of the shaking of the sound of something shaking, so I started using 1 pound weights, and I have to say that's even a better way to do it, because that's a little bit extra weight and muscle builder. Just 1 pound is a lot when it comes to shaking it back and forth. And I noticed Sue now uses gloves that have are those 1 pound weights, or those?
Those are 1 pound weights. So I left those at work because I do it sometimes from there, and I got my 1 pound weight that I used here today. It's surprising how much of a difference it is, just 1 pound. It's awesome. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Looking forward to graduating maybe to 2 pounds at some point, but I'm not there yet.
And it's so with Jim and I, he was the one that would be leading it mostly. He was a little bit more a little bit more mobile as far as being able to stand a little bit, and so there are times that he would then sit as well, because that's the thing with the shakedown. You don't have to stand to do a lot of exercise. You can get a lot of good exercise when you're seated, and it's a lot of fun, and it's just 15 minutes and listening to different music, and so Sue's a lot of fun because she's always smiling, and so it's always a fun thing. Then we kind of kid about Kurt, because I always had, after after shakedown, it's time for Kurt to have something to eat. And usually he doesn't anymore, but he would bring what he was eating, and he'd be shoveling it in like.
You're right now. We did just finish doing the shakedown about an hour ago, and so then we flipped the switch here, and yeah, he's got food now. So some things still continue.
But yeah, it's been a good thing, and Jim did it for quite a while, but he's so involved in so many other programs where he is needed in so many different areas, and so he doesn't have the number of hours in his day to make it easy to slide in at noon to lead the 12 o'clock shakedown. So that's where he passed it over to have Sue be our new shakedown person, and with Emily's assistance and getting things set up with Facebook and I guess that's what she links us all into, isn't it? With Facebook.
And she gets the live going there, and then so we actually meet, it's literally every day, 12 o'clock noon. So we are there, we're in Zoom just like this, and always invite people to join us on here, and also live on Facebook. So like you're saying, anytime, even if you're not here right at noon, you can still catch it on Facebook after the fact. And I know Joni comes in here on weekends. I think it's normally weekends, isn't it, Joni? I don't know if you normally get in here on weekdays. You got other stuff going on.
As I got a couple workouts every day during the week, but you guys are the only ones I know that do it on the weekend. So it gets me up and out of bed and putting on shoes.
I just wanted to make sure we clarify for everybody that it is 12 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 12 o'clock p.m. noon Central. So if you're just for everybody who is in a different time zone, just wanted to clarify that for everybody.
Right. Yeah, that's where our southern guys, they're actually meeting us. It's 1 o'clock their time when they're rolling in with us. So
it all originated in Madison, Wisconsin. So with that, it's 12 o'clock Central. So everybody has to adapt to us here in the Central time zone. So yeah, good point. So yeah, 12 o'clock Central is when we do this every day. And there is a group on Facebook. So if you just look for that, search out 12 o'clock shakedown, like spell it all out, you'll find us. I think there's even a shakedown shack crew on there or something. There's a couple different things on there. So there's always a way to find us. So go ahead.
Who came up with the term shacklites? Is that what did Kurt come up with that?
Really? Kurt, you know the history on that part? Sounds like a Kurtism.
Yeah, you caught me. I did come up with that. Thanks for noticing.
You could be one of the shacklites officially. And actually, I was going to ask Joni, I know you do some other exercise programs as well. Do you want to tell us more about the other ones that you participate in?
There's so many of them. There's, I don't know, when people ask me, how do you find them? I guess just do a Google search, type in Zoom classes, handicap, disabled, adaptive is a big word, to look for adaptive classes, and they're free. You can find yoga and Tai Chi and boxing, and there's quite a few boxing coaches, more than a lot of things, which it's wonderful for your memory too. Boxing is wonderful for that. It's wonderful. So I guess if people can go look up just those keywords and look for Zooms, and Zoom's easy to sign into, easy to, get an account. And yeah, a whole bunch of wonderful people from all over the place.
It's fantastic, because that's sometimes the hard part is, where do you start? How do you know how to find something? I remember a friend of ours that was here at the house, this goes back actually a couple of years, that he was here, and he has health challenges, and we talked to him to help, not helping, but actually participating with us. Jim was leading at the time, and actually something even with the simple motions we do, he would do some, and then he'd take a break, and then he'd do some more, and then he would take a break. Because you know what? Sometimes if things are new and you're not used to doing a lot of physical activity, you might not be able to just do all of it right away. And that's fine. It's something where you start where you start. You start where you are and see what you can do. And any bit of extra movement, motion, it all helps. It all helps keep keep you healthy, keep you moving, keep your mind active. All those things is all good. And and that social time is fun too, because a lot of times we end up hanging out afterwards. we have our 15 minutes of music and motion. Oh my gosh! And what about Mark? Mark is always bringing a special flavor to what we do too. Actually, Chris, you want to share a little bit about what he does every day for us?
Well, he searches out what a particular day may be important about, like whether it's Veterans Day or I can't even right now think of some of the other things, but it might be like today was national nut waffle, what Sue
Yeah.
Helm.
I'm trying to remember whether was it oatmeal nut waffle day?
Yeah, oatmeal nut waffle day or something like that. But it was like,
Who knew?
wow, that's a great thing to have a special day for, because who doesn't like a good waffle every once in a while? Why not make it good and healthy, making it special ingredients that way. So
He tends to find some obscure things too, that like, how is this a celebrated national or international holiday or day of celebration? So he brings a whole level of fun to this. We always pass the mic over to him at the end to find out, what are we celebrating today? And typically he'll have some celebrity birthdays on there as well. So just to find out, hey, what's special about today? And I've learned so much. I had no idea some of these days were even a thing. So it just adds another flair to it, and that makes it fun for everybody. And we always appreciate what he does with that too. So, and actually, Kurt, do you want to come on back in here as well? You've been, how did you end up hooking up with the Shakedown way back as well? I'm not even sure. I have a guess, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I would say, like we were talking about Autumn and what she does to broadcast out, we've been participating with the Madison Spinal Cord Injury Group. And so we're kind of in the midst of, they have our contact information. We're Facebook friends. They got, my text line with Google Voice and whatever. So I just early on with the adaptive sports and recreation stuff, I was just in the loop on those things. And so when they came up with the Shakedown, I just got the post like a bunch of others, like, hey, if you want to hop on Zoom, our friend Stacy provides the Zoom link. And so when they were kind of sharing it out and around, I was part of their out and around, and I showed up and recognized, like we're talking here, it's a great thing, and been doing it ever since on a daily basis.
Awesome. So that is one of those things that stands out in my mind, I guess, that there's an amazing network out there of people who are wanting to do more, that are maybe interested in this kind of thing and just don't know where to look. So I appreciate, Joni, sharing some ideas on how people can find groups like this, whether it's local or like with this one, especially like we're talking about with Shakedown and some of these others. You don't have to be local because it's all on Zoom. All you need is that internet connection, and you can participate and find different ways to be active and have opportunities that you didn't know were available. So that's where I'm always hoping that we can share details about what is available, what's out there, how to find it, how to participate, and how to make some new friends. Because if it wasn't for the Shakedown crew, I don't like Chris. I don't know if we ever would have met. And Joni, it's a great group, and we have a lot of fun. We see each other almost every day, even. And it's a nice thing. It's a great social outlet as well. So it's good on a lot of different levels. So I'm thrilled to have had that opportunity with you guys. And actually, Chris, I want to ask you one more question too. You did mention the MS Society as well. You want to tell us a little bit more about what the group is that you, because I think you meet up with a bunch of folks in the Madison area as well. Do you want to just share a little bit more about that?
Okay, with our MS group, we meet on Saturdays at 2:00 Central for about an hour on Zoom. And then on the third Saturday of the month, we actually do an in-person meeting at one of our members' apartment community room, and get together for a chat there. We might have a speaker involved then, not always, but sometimes we do. Like I said, that's the third Saturday again. Oh, but on the third Saturday, it's at 10:00 in the morning rather than 2:00 in the afternoon. So 10:00 in the morning, and that would be at Mary's apartment complex in Madison, off of Fish Hatchery, South Fish Hatchery. So it's a good time to get together now that we can get together in person. It's just nice to be able to, again, to be back together with people. Drink a little coffee and maybe a couple of snacks or something, but
It's nice to be able to be back in person again.
yeah, because I mean that was something that we had done all the time when we met at Babes on Schrader Road in Madison, and now that particular venue is closed and actually changed. The building is something completely different, so we got booted out of there and never really found another venue to be together until we until Mary moved into a different apartment.
I'm glad you have such a good group to be able to participate with. I'm actually going to pass the mic back over to Kurt again here to wrap us up for today. I'm so grateful that Chris and Joni, that you were able to join us today. So Kurt, back over to you.
All right. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. We hope you enjoyed our conversation among friends. Thanks for being our friend and subscribing to our social media and following all of our video production and all the work we do here at the TDC Today Show USA and across the Disability Channel. Again, I'm yours truly, Kurt Roskoff, and thank you, Sue and Brad. Brad. So Chris and Joni and Emily. So yeah, it's been a great group discussion, and that'll do it for today's episode of TDC Today Show USA. We'll look forward to having you next time.
Recording stopped.
Awesome. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.
All right.